Hi guys, Borgio here, back again with the advanced solo guides for Everquest 2 for the newest expansion this time, Altar of Malice. This time we are inside Bilgewater Falls, and I'll be taking you through the boss strategies using air quotes, in particular for the first three bosses, to get through this place as quickly and painlessly as possible. Main thing that you want to realise about the advanced solos in AOM, guys, is that they're a lot more difficult than they have been in the past. So you're going to either want to bring a merc that's going to complement you very well, or bring a second player, or it's just easier that way. They've made them a bit more difficult. As you get gear, obviously, you're going to be able to just blast through them. But there's certain zones with certain strats that I still can't quite do. I need to tweak my strats, or just record with a second player. But anyway, like I'm saying, there's three bosses in this place which have exactly the same strat, and then there's two final bosses which have different mechanics. Yay! Now, the first boss appears here. He's not currently here at the moment, so I'd advise pulling the stuff off the top, otherwise you're going to get it to add. Trust me. It happens all the time to me. Quick note to make, if you're doing the SIG line, and you decide to do it in the advanced solo, instead of the solo for some reason, these chests of booty have a 100% drop rate on the evidence that you need, whereas the pirates don't. And there are enough chests in here to get all the updates you need, you just need to go and find them. So there's something. First boss is this guy here. He's called Barnacle Bitterman. Now what he does, he has two attacks. He does Dashing Swathe. It's a knockback and a knockdown in a small radius around him, which I'll completely avoid because I'm ranged on this one, but you will see it later on, trust me. And at 20% he'll cast Break Skull on his primary target. That is a short duration uncurable curse, which does a stun. So, and that's it. That's all they do. In fact, that's all the first three bosses do. There's nothing new to any of them. So the idea is just burn through, get done, and then make your way up the ramps until you find the next bosses, guys. Really, this area is notorious, though. However, for pulling stuff through the floors and ceilings. So if you're an AOE class, be very aware the fact that your AOEs aren't just on a horizontal plane; they can go vertically the same amount of distance. So just be super careful. How do you know which way to go in this place? It's like a little bit of a maze. My thoughts are always find the way that goes up, and if there's not a way that goes up, is there a way that goes across? Because you're basically going end to end every time in this small area. So you've got the waterfall at one end and the ship opening at the other end. You're basically going end to end constantly. So as you come across this bridge, you'll notice there's a way up to the right. So we go right, we go up. With regards to trash, you used to be able to invis past all this stuff, but they fixed that. That's fine. Whatever. They want us to actually do the content. That's great. You can avoid a whole load of patrolling mobs if you're careful with your running. Mercs will pull all sorts of stuff because they're crazy, but you can avoid all sorts of stuff. I personally was attempting to level some Green Adorns while doing this, so I kind of wanted some stuff. But you would have noticed on that previous pull I had an ad that just ran in. It's actually from this area here. Next to this chest of booty there's normally a guy stood on the corner. I pulled him through the floor. Because that's what warlocks do! Still, make your way up. We've made our way up. We're now going to run to the end. Going this way. The next boss is one that most people will probably miss. And it's the one that in guild chat was said, oh, where's this boss? Mostly when people did this for the first time. The reason being, the next boss is inside a building, and seeing as you haven't been inside a building at all up to the point you got to him, why would you go inside a building now? Makes no sense. But yeah, they popped one inside a building, guys. So we're going end to end. We go down to this end again, turn around, and then by the time when we make it back to the other end again, that's where the boss is. So yeah, enjoy some trash along the way. Now, there are a few shortcuts. If you happen to fall off, there are a few shortcuts to get yourself back up. We will run past one later, but there are coils of rope which hang down in the area. I don't know if they're linked to bosses. I haven't really investigated exactly how they're triggered. If you know, let me know in the comments. But basically, I've noticed that at certain points they're just hanging down and you can climb up and down the levels. On the ropes, which is great. I mean, they're probably boss links. They're linked to bosses killed. So maybe once you've killed the third boss, the rope is activated. Here, I attempt, using air quotes, to avoid some mobs, which my Pally-merc decides to pull anyway. And because my Pally-merc decides to pull them, she starts fighting them, which means I start taking a pounding from these two. I do take a bit of damage here. And in fact, I think I do get. I think these might frontal or something, because I take a few hits here in a second off the mobs, which are quite clearly on her. Just there. In fact, yes, it's a frontal, it's an AoE, because we both took damage at the same point. So there we go. Watch out for the trash guys, has a frontal. If you've got a tank merc with you, just make sure you stood behind them, basically. Right, we're nearly at the next boss now. What we need to do is cross the bridge, turn right, and run to the end. And then he is in the building at the end. Apologies for the small click there, I had to quickly cough and my phone rang, so we had to cut the recording. Stuff happens. Oh well. It's good to be back at Everquest, guys. AOM's been a lot of fun so far, so let's see what else goes. Right here, this building. You can body pull this guy, but my merc decides, no, I don't want none of that. But you can body pull this guy out, so you don't get it with the boss. If you don't, and you do it in the room, just watch your AoEs and kill him off. Right, so next boss, boss number 2, is Navigator Darren Cutthroat, but I don't know why I'm telling you the names. He has exactly the same stuff that the other ones do. He does Dashing Swathe, a knockback and a knockdown, and he does Break Skull at 20%. And if you watch his cast bar, you'll see him casting stuff. But none of it seems to hit me, but it will hit the Paladin, so you will see Dashing Swathe go off, and then at 20% Crush, what did I call it? Break Skull will cast, and you'll notice that Paladin gets a uncurable curse. It does happen. And then I think he casts Dashing Swathe again towards the end. So there's the Swathe. I think he does Break Skull straight away. It's really awkward for me to see, guys, at the moment, because my preview window for the video is tiny. So I can just see that stuff is happening on the screen. I can't actually read anything that's happening. Right, once you're done, you want to head out and go up this ramp. And again, what we're looking to do is we're looking to head all the way down to the other end again, because end to end is fun. Head to the other end again and go across the bridges. And the next boss we want, the third boss, is actually on the opposite side from where we're on now, at the end. And it's probably, out of the first 3, I would say it's the trickiest to pull if you don't know how to pull. And what I mean by that is, you'll see when we get there, it's just an awkward area. There's basically a patrol mob that can be anywhere in the area. So you can either get him with the pack, or you can get him on his own, which is great. And there's 2 mobs sat basically next to the boss, and you've got to learn, you either know how to pull those out, or you don't. So I demonstrate 2, there's one of the calls I wrote, by the way. I demonstrate 2 ways of pulling. You've got body pulling, which is something tanks should have learned early in their tanking career. Being a tank from release, I'm fairly good at body pulling. You've got body pulling, and you've got just basically range pulling, knowing that they won't aggro. So it's a thing. Beware of the rats on the right. I pull them all the time, but you see the patrol mobs is down there. So body pulling is you basically run up until the mobs turn and look at you, and then run backwards. As you note there, I know exactly how close to get on these because I've body pulled for years. Best advice is turn your merc onto passive while you do it, otherwise they'll start fighting down there. Now, the key thing to know about these mobs sat on the one I body pulled to the front, you can actually spell pull those. You can just range pull them, as long as you don't AE attack and hit the boss. So turn off any AEs like Mystical Overflow, and you can just spell them like that, and they get pulled. So you don't need to body pull. I just find it safer because generally I'll AoE stuff. Right, third boss is Lady Bipsy, and she's here, and she does the same stuff. Dashing Swathe, knockback, knockdown, so watch getting knocked back off the edge, and Break Skull at 20%. Apart from that, yeah, same as always. So send pet, pew pew. Takes as long as it takes, generally. Break Skull is nothing, particularly if it hits the merc. Oh, something else really quick. If you're going to be doing these a lot with the merc, I would advise there's a quest line you can get in the mail from a rat that's on an island. Do his whole quest line, guys. I think you have to be a level 100 crafter, I'm not sure. Or it might be for any level of crafter, but you only get the quest every 10 levels. I don't know because I was max level when I got it. But one of the items you can learn to craft from that quest line is a potion that increases your merc's potency crit bonus and reduces the damage they take. Super useful, and it's just a little something extra that will help. Anyway, we've killed Lady Bipsy, so what you want to do is actually backtrack all the way back to just after the second boss. So you'll see over there in the distance, I assure you it's there, I can't actually see, there is a doorway that had 2 guys defending it. That is the 4th boss, who won't spawn until you've killed the original first 3. So head on back to there, And fun fact, on the solo version of this, these are non-aggro, these guards. I don't know why, they just are. So kill these, and then prepare to fight the most interesting boss in this instance. He's not the same as the first three guys, but his strat. You've got to do the mechanic. There's no way about it. You're going to have to do the mechanic. I don't know anybody that can actually burn this from 100 to 0. Here he is. Let's give him his full name: Smooth Talking Dunkle Tugglecog. He does two things. He has an AE called Disarming Grin, which doesn't really do much, and he also goes immune to damage and starts spinning in circles. Yay! He does this. Through my test says the first one should trigger at 66, but if you go a bit faster, it's going to happen less. And then the second one's at 25, and this is all he does. He just spins in circles and knocks you about the room. I would advise, go and sit underneath this anvil. Reason being, he can't really touch you, and you can't go flying. So just wait for him to stop spinning, and then you can just nuke him down again, and get him to the 25% mark, and then nuke him down once more. So he is fairly annoying because you have to do the strat, guys. There's no bypassing this, unfortunately. You do have to do what the designers intended for you to do on this one, and you spend more time waiting around than you do nuking, unfortunately. You know, maybe there's a way to stop him spinning early. Maybe if you get him to ram into something, it stops him. I don't know. I haven't investigated that yet. All I know is he spins. It's annoying. Sit underneath the anvil. However, I will let you know that on the heroic there is a point to his spinning, and at least there's something to do while he's spinning. I'm just going to leave it there. If I can get some heroic footage, guys, I'll show it to you, but that's not often I record when I do my heroics. Final boss is out this door. You've got to kill a few packs before you get to him, which is easy enough, really. If you're a class that needs to gain stacks or record a VC, I would do it on these packs, although these mobs die so quick, recording a VC is probably not ideal, but it's something, I suppose. Better than trying to do it on a single target, I suppose. You could pull the lot and record. That's an idea. But the final boss is coming up, so we will go through his strat when we get to him. Just clean this trash out. It's not too difficult. In this area is where you also need to come on the sig line. It's on the other side of the water. So get your evidence and head over there. I would show you, but I don't in this video, so you know. But it is there, and you can see the captain there in the background. So here he is, Captain Burlon Bilgewater. Has 3 different mechanics. First off, Dashing Swathe, because why not? Second off, he summons adds every 25% of his health. And the last thing is he summons a ghostly watery pirate ship, like that. Be to the side or behind it, otherwise you're going to take a chunk of damage, and it's a knock. I think it's a knockback, it might not be. I know Dashing Swathe definitely is. If you haven't got the resist or the hit points, you're going to get mullered. That's a fun word. You're going to get killed by that, so make sure you run behind it, guys. Also, on pull, be very, very aware he can knock you into the pool, which is fairly annoying, especially when you've got a merc that's tanking up top. Apart from that, burn him down. I ignore the ads. They tend to depop when he dies anyway. And there you go. That is Bilgewater Falls, guys. Grab your loot. It's going to be yellow-based ferrin loot. And, yeah, that's about it. Hope you guys like what you saw. If you did, I'd appreciate a comment, a like, and a subscribe. But don't feel pressured, of course. For more EQ2 guides, check out my channel. I try to do all the advanced solos, and I will be doing this expansion very shortly. There is no shortcut out this area, by the way, guys. You've got to either evac or run. It's a shame. But thanks very much, guys. I'm Borgio, and I'll see you guys next time.